Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Batran has actually mentioned that it's not just 6 records, there are actually 8 Guinness World Book of Records that were broken by the Long Live Egypt Fund. It was actually, those records were broken between the years 2020 and 2021. Dr. Batran, now this initiative, this fund has been established, I mean, it's 9 years old now. How far or how effective has such a fund and such an initiative been to the Egyptian economy and the Egyptian society, keeping in mind that we've gone through a lot of difficulties, a coronavirus pandemic, a current Russian-Ukrainian conflict, so it has outlived many sort of conflicts. So how effective has it been for our economy?
I believe since the inauguration of the fund and the choice of its name, Long Live Egypt, Tahya Masr Foundation, the word in Arabic is very short, but it says a lot. It says that Egypt has to live. And in order to do that, they are working on several segments and sectors. They all definitely working towards a better life for the Egyptian on the street. So it's a better life for each and every one of us. And so we're talking about, like you're mentioning, the Guinness Book of Records. How can Egypt break 8 records in the same year? It's because the social impact and the social part that is inherent in our people. We have a proverb that says, nobody sleeps without dinner. This is a proverb that only exists in Egypt. You don't hear this proverb anywhere else in the world. That means if I have dinner on my table and you don't, we get to share. So, and that's the essence of, again, the Tahya Masr Foundation. It is, we are all one, and what is on my table is on your table as Egyptians, and what the government has to do and cannot really do in the best of its abilities, the capabilities, particularly the financial one, the Tahya Masr Foundation comes in hand and endorses initiatives. And the kick-off of the fund was initiative-based. So let's do an initiative. For us, it was totally unheard of when we first heard about the health component and the hepatitis C initiative. How can we eradicate, how can we first scan for virus C in Egyptians, and Egypt was known to be one of the highest infected countries in the world. We were talking about 15% infection rate in Egypt. So if we're 100 million, you're talking 15 million Egyptians. At the time they were 12 because we were not really 100 million. So we were talking about 12 million people. That is the size of Tunisia. So scanning so many Egyptians and locating where the disease is and targeting the treatment, eventually eradicating the disease. And that is totally unheard of in the world. Nobody believed that Egypt can do it, but Egypt, under auspices of the Long Live Egypt, the Tahya Masr Foundation, the diligence and the heart and the passion of the Egyptian people working together, the government as Ministry of Health and the Tahya Masr Foundation as an NGO, civil society, all of us pooling our resources together, whether be it scientific, financial, logistical. So all of the Egyptians, they pooled their resources together, and the government, in this case, in this initiative, is the Ministry of Health. Together, they eradicated something that was totally unheard of ever in the world before. And let's go to another initiative, for example, the initiative of the 1 million food box. Or like the initiative that you forgot. It might seem a very simple initiative, giving the electrical appliances to homes of newlyweds. When you're giving out nearly 5,000 electrical appliances, and the appliance is not one, the set is, I believe, 3 or 4 appliances. So it's a fridge, it's a washing machine, a simple washing machine, and a stove. And this is what is very integral to our lives as our kitchens, Egyptian kitchens. So we're helping young Egyptians to make a life, to make a home, to create sustainability, to have a حياة كريمة, to have a good, decent life. And so talking about health, talking about a social side such as the electrical appliance and breaking of world of records, the Guinness World of Records. So we're helping people create lives in a simple way. We're helping people to have better lives, decent lives, by preserving their health, by appreciating the pain that families go through if left untreated, and by also giving out, let's say, the role model that nothing is impossible. We can eradicate a disease that is elsewhere in the world known to be uneradicatable. There are countries where it has 1 and 2% of hepatitis C, and they did not even think of eradicating such a disease. So I believe the Tahya Masr Foundation stands for more than a civil society helping out the state to create a better life for Egyptians. It's create a better life, and in doing so, showing what passion can do, what collective work can do, what cooperation can do, what teamwork can do. And this is not only for us of a certain generation, but for younger generations and generations to come. How is وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. So how can we all work together as God mentioned and creating success?
Well, Dr. Batran, I mean, you're talking about these initiatives and the Long Live Egypt Foundation, and there's been a 50% increase in the allocations for such initiatives. You highlighted the health sector, which has definitely been one of the most beneficial from the Long Live Egypt Foundation, along with other social protection programs. What other sectors would you say are, or got the best or the most of the benefits from the Long Live Egypt Foundation?
Well, the agricultural sector, first, the Hayat Karima initiative is a mega initiative.
Definitely.
And it's again one of the largest initiatives in the world of not its kind. It's really unique in a kind, in a category, and it's unique in terms of size as well. So it's going to touch nearly 60% of the lives of the Egyptian people. And it started off in rural areas, areas where really services and government services were not as available as we have it in Cairo or we have it in center cities. And as such, it's not about one service. So it's about the school, it's about education, and this is Tahya Masr again. It's about the hospital or the health provider, and again Tahya Masr. So education and then health. And it's about the infrastructure. It's about the water, the electricity, the sewage, if it does not exist. Nearly electricity was everywhere in Egypt. But again, so the infrastructure, so that is Tahya Masr. And then it's about the social part and also the digital transformation. So we're talking internet and high-speed internet in many of the situations. And then you are talking of the normal social endeavors or projects. Social projects is, do I make sure that poor families and simple families in Egypt are covered in terms of a financial subsidy? Are they covered in terms of food subsidy? And the food subsidy is per size of the family. And incidentally, the larger the family, the more the subsidy they are covered and they bring in. So that is just a component. So the social is just a component. You go infrastructure, you go housing, you go health, you go education. And then also, definitely, the agricultural sector. The agricultural sector is the main component of the cycle of sustainability in Egypt. Tahya Masr has had also an impact in endorsing the agricultural infrastructure, the training, of rural areas, of new types of irrigation, which is also extremely important for the sustainability of the agricultural family. So you are educated, you are trained up to the highest level in the world, but at the same time, we keep you in your area so that we Egyptians can eat from your hands, from the labor of your hands, and you can be sustained in a decent life. So again, the Hayat Karima, all within, under auspices of the state, the government, within the state of Egypt is under auspices of the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Housing. And so Tahya Masr has really been integrated an entity between government, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Social Solidarity, Ministry of Housing and Development. So all of these components, the Tahya Masr Foundation and all of its funding routes, be it financial, and also when we talk education, I don't want to go back again into the topic, but education, you're talking scientific research. And we've seen that in the COVID-19. When we're talking, so it's really many integrated initiatives all built in together to give the Egyptians hope, better life today, and the far better one tomorrow. Okay, we maintain life today. We are looking at a neighborhood, we are living at a really dangerous neighborhood, but we are safe, and that's very important. So we have a decent life today of security, of safety, of accessibility of all our basic needs, and more in some cases than our basic needs. So everything is there, and Tahya Masr has been very instrumental in maintaining the foodstuffs at the time where foodstuffs was not available in a worldwide fashion. So the basic food requirements of all Egyptians, so that is the today. The tomorrow, which is the medium term, is also the Tahya Masr and the government of Egypt into creating a better future via particularly the Hayah Karima, among other initiatives, and the health initiatives particularly as well, housing initiatives. So you are housing people in the Maslow pyramid of needs. Once you get housing, you can go all the way to the self-actualization, and that's the top of the pyramid. So I am housed, I am fed, I am comfortable, then I can create, then I can express myself, then I can ask to actualize, to help my country. So I'm helping myself, I am sheltered. So you see, I have food and shelter. The Tahya Masr has helped that, and all the way to hopefully, inshallah, in the middle and the long term, the self-actualization of all Egyptians, bi'ithnillah.
Well, talking about the self-actualization, there's been a lot of emphasis by the government and these initiatives to really empower and enable the women and the breadwinners, the single mothers, the people with special needs. How effective has this been, not just economically on our society, and keeping in mind that women constitute about 60 or maybe even more % of our society, but also in terms of a cultural sort of maturity or development in terms of our society?
Well, I don't want to keep disagreeing with you throughout the program, but I think we Egyptians are the daughters and sons of Nefertiti and Cleopatra and Hatshepsut, and so the Hatshepsut is the woman warrior, and Sekhmet, which is the god of wisdom. So we are the daughters and sons of Egyptian goddesses and queens, and so we come from good stock. So we have the inherent genes there. And then as Muslims, which is a main portion of our society again, and as Christians, which is another smaller fraction, but still a sizable fraction, you're talking about the Virgin Mary and the importance of Virgin Mary within. So the group of Egyptians, whether from a cultural point of view or a religious point of view, we have women, the importance of women is integral into our well-being. So this is, but definitely, Tahya Masr Foundation or the Long Live Egypt Foundation has been instrumental in helping the women, as you said, youth, which constitutes 60%, and 60% below the age of 25, and this is a real sizable, so we are really a youthful country. And it has programs for young people, women and young people, women and men, and also the special needs. And the fact that they are integrated, it's all that we are one society. We are integrated. The efficiency and efficacy of work within companies, organizations, institutions, having both women and men is very important. It increases by having a balanced society within So it's a balanced society without
Yes.
the surrounding, the environment, and the within part. So the within the television building, within the media sector, within this is. Tahya Masr Foundation has been supporting this, has been supporting women in business, has been supporting entrepreneurship, young people, has been supporting the fintech, so the financial technology sector, whether again be it young women or men. The technology and women, because in some rural societies we want to keep women at home, but we still want to empower them as to have incomes. So it has been instrumental there, and it has been instrumental into the health of the young children of Egypt.
Yes, for sure.
And this is two main initiatives that all the students of Egypt, we are above 22 million, 23 million young Egyptians within the education system. And they have been scanned for food deficiencies, for size, for dwarfism, for a particular emphasis in certain characteristics, physical characteristics, so we can have long people enough to create good basketball players. And the dwarfism, so it has been, after scanning the young people, it has helped with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health into giving out food programs for young people in schools, primary students, so that it gives them the amount of minerals and nutrients enough to minimize the long-term dwarfism and the long-term bad nutrition effects on the Egyptian people. It won't be the Egyptian children. In the future, they will be the Egyptian population.
Yes. And this has been recognized by the World Bank in its report, really stating that Egypt is among the leading companies within the Middle East and North Africa regions in terms of social protection. Let's check out this report and we'll be right back.